You caught me, Michael. I do have a story, but it's not a happy one. At least it didn't start happy. I had a major setback this morning.
Oh no, what happened? Did you spill coffee on your computer?
Worse, I spent the last 3 days working. Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome back to another episode of the Rom English Podcast. I am Jennifer, and I am so incredibly happy to spend this time with you today. If you are watching us on our YouTube channel, thank you for returning. We love seeing your names in the comments every week. It feels like we are one big family learning together.
And I am Michael. It is wonderful to be back in the studio. We have a lot of regular viewers now, and it is so inspiring to see how much your English is improving. Jennifer, you look very bright today, but I have a feeling you have a story for us. You always have a story.
You caught me, Michael. I do have a story, but it's not a happy one. At least it didn't start happy. I had a major setback this morning.
Oh no, what happened? Did you spill coffee on your computer?
Worse, I spent the last 3 days working on a very important design project for a client. I was almost finished. This morning, I sat down to do the final touches and suddenly, poof, my computer screen went black. I tried to restart it, but nothing happened. I lost 3 days of hard work.
Oh, Jennifer, I feel the pain in my heart just hearing that. That is a classic setback. I bet you wanted to throw the computer out the window.
Honestly, I wanted to cry. I felt so frustrated. I thought, why me? Why today? I felt like I was moving forward in my career, and then suddenly I was pushed back to the starting line.
That is exactly what we are talking about today. You felt like your progress was reversed. But instead of staying sad, you decided to use this experience for our podcast. That is a great example of the topic we are covering, how to turn setbacks into success.
Exactly. I remembered the ideas from Amy Schuthenthal, an expert on this topic. Her TED Talk really changed my perspective. So instead of being angry at my broken computer, I decided to analyze my feelings. Today, we're going to help our listeners do the same.
This is going to be a powerful episode. We are going to look at the science of why failure hurts, why it's actually good for your brain, and we will share a 4-step cycle to help you reinvent yourself when things go wrong.
Michael, let's start with the basics. We use the word setback a lot, but what does it actually mean? Is it just a mistake?
That's a great question. According to Amy Schuthenthal, a setback is more than just a mistake. She calls it an inversion of progress.
Inversion? That's a big word. Can you explain that for our English learners?
Sure. Inversion just means to turn something upside down or to do the opposite. So an inversion of progress means you were moving forward, but suddenly you are moving backward. It's like walking on a treadmill and suddenly the machine starts going in the opposite direction. You aren't just standing still, you are being pushed back.
That is exactly how I felt this morning. I felt pushed back to 3 days ago.
And it feels physically bad, right? You felt a bit sick in your stomach.
Yes, I did. I felt very low energy.
There is a scientific reason for that. When we experience a setback, our brain goes through a dopamine dip.
Ah, dopamine. We talk about that on this podcast a lot. That's the happy chemical, right?
Exactly. Dopamine is the reward chemical. When you finish a project, your brain gives you a hit of dopamine and you feel great. But when you lose a project, like you did today, your dopamine levels drop very fast. This dip makes you feel sad, discouraged, and even physically tired.
So I wasn't just being dramatic. My brain was actually having a chemical reaction to the failure.
100%. But here is the amazing part. Amy says this dopamine dip is a catalyst for something called neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity. That's another scientific word. Let me try to explain this one. It means the brain's ability to change and create new connections, right?
Spot on, Jennifer. Think of your brain like a muscle. When you go to the gym and lift very heavy weights, you actually create tiny, painful tears in your muscles. It hurts the next day. But those tiny tears are necessary. They are the signal for the muscle to grow back stronger than before.
So my dopamine dip and my frustration today are like the muscle pain of the brain.
Exactly. Without that pain, your brain wouldn't realize it needs to grow. Setbacks force your brain to rewire itself. They make you more resilient, which means you become better at handling stress in the future.
Wow, so failing is actually like a workout for my success. I love that mindset, but knowing it's a workout doesn't make it easy to fix. Amy mentions that there's a 4-step cycle we can follow to move through a setback. She calls it the Setback Cycle.
The first E in the cycle is establish. Jennifer, how do we establish a setback?
Well, some setbacks are very obvious. If you get fired from your job, you know it's a setback. If you fail an English exam, you know it. But Amy says there are also invisible setbacks.
Invisible? You mean we don't know we're failing?
Precisely. It's that feeling of drifting. You have a job, you have a life, but you aren't growing. You feel bored every day. You feel like you're just going through the motions. You aren't moving forward, but you're so used to it that you don't realize you're actually in a setback.
I think many of our listeners might feel this way about their English. They study, but they don't feel like they're getting better. They're just drifting.
Right. To establish the setback, Amy suggests a tool called the alarm clock checklist.
That sounds interesting. How does it work?
For 1 month, you keep a list. You write down the things that make you feel high energy, the things that make you excited to wake up in the morning, and you write down the things that give you low energy, the things that make you want to hit the snooze button on your alarm clock.
So, if my list is full of low energy items, I have established that I'm stuck.
Exactly. You have to identify the problem before you can fix it. You have to admit, I am not moving forward. I am in a setback.
Once we have established the problem, we move to the second E, embrace. And I'll be honest, this sounds like the part most people want to skip.
Oh, for sure. Society tells us to stay positive and move on. We want to run away from the bad feelings. We want to buy a new computer and forget the old one ever existed.
But Amy says that's a mistake. She says we need to embrace the discomfort. Why?
Because the reinvention, the change, only happens inside that dopamine dip. If you run away from the sadness, you don't give your brain the chance to rewire itself. You have to face the negative stories you tell yourself.
Like the imposter syndrome thoughts.
Exactly. Thoughts like, I'm not smart enough to do this project, or I'm too old to learn English. Our brains are very good at finding evidence for these negative stories. If you look for reasons why you're a failure, you will find them.
So in the embrace stage, we have to look at those thoughts and say, I see you, but you're not the whole truth.
Right. You acknowledge the pain. You say, yes, this hurts. Yes, I feel like a failure right now. You don't hide. By embracing the reality, you stop being a victim of the setback. You become an observer.
Now we are at the third E, explore. And this is my favorite part because it involves other people. Amy uses a beautiful word here, constellations.
I love that word. A constellation is a group of stars that form a pattern in the sky, right?
Yes, and she says our community, our friends, family, and colleagues are like a constellation. When you are in a setback, you feel like a dim star. You cannot see your own light. You think you have no value.
I felt that this morning. I felt like a useless designer because my computer broke.
Exactly, but your constellation, the people around you, can see your light even when you can't. In the explore stage, you must reach out to your community.
This is so true. Amy shared that when she was fired, she reached out to her old bosses and colleagues. She didn't ask for a job immediately, she just asked for their perspective.
And what did they tell her?
They told her she was talented. They reminded her of the great work she had done in the past. Sometimes we need our friends to hold a mirror up so we can see who we really are. Through these connections, Amy found her first clients and built a successful business.
This is so important for English learners too. If you feel discouraged, talk to your teacher or your study partners. They will often say your grammar isn't perfect, but your speaking is so much better than last month. They see the progress you are blind to.
Finally, we reach the fourth E, emerge. This is the moment of action, but it's not just going back to work, it's about being different.
Amy uses the example of a butterfly. This is a bit of a science lesson for our listeners. Did you know that inside the cocoon, the caterpillar doesn't just grow wings, it completely turns into a liquid?
Wait, really? It turns into soup?
Yes, it completely dissolves. It loses its old form before it can become something new.
That is a perfect metaphor for a setback. You feel like your life is dissolving. You feel like soup, but that is necessary for the reinvention.
To emerge means to walk out of the setback as a new version of yourself. But Amy warns us, don't rush. Sometimes emerging means taking a rest first. You cannot build a new business or a new career if you are still exhausted.
So after my computer crash, maybe I shouldn't try to work for 10 hours straight tonight.
Exactly. Maybe you need to go for a walk, sleep well, and emerge tomorrow with a clear head. The action should come from a place of strategy, not a...
Michael, I have to tell you about the most amazing part of Amy Shu-Thansel's story. It involves her career. She actually had 2 major setbacks that led to her greatest success.
Tell us the first one.
Well, she went on maternity leave to have her baby. When she came back to work, she found out her job had been changed. Her old role was gone, and she felt replaced. She felt like her career was over.
That is a very painful setback for any professional. How did she handle it?
She used that energy to start writing. She became a journalist for major magazines like Forbes. If she had kept her old, comfortable job, she might never have discovered her talent for writing.
So the setback was a nudge from the universe to change her path.
Exactly. But wait, there's more. She eventually wrote a whole book about how to overcome setbacks. She spent months researching and writing. Then, just 48 hours after she finished the book, she was fired from her full-time job.
No way! That is so ironic. She wrote the book on how to handle failure, and then she immediately failed.
Right, but because she had just finished the book, she knew exactly what to do. She didn't panic, she went through the 4 steps. She established that she was now a full-time entrepreneur. She embraced the fear of not having a salary. She explored her network, her constellation, and she emerged as a successful business owner.
That is incredible. Her setback was actually the green light she needed to start her own company. If she hadn't been fired, she might still be working a job she didn't love.
Michael, let's bring this home to our Rom English community. How can they use the setback cycle in their language journey?
I think about the invisible setback first. If you have been at the intermediate plateau, where you feel like you aren't getting better anymore, you need to establish that. Use the alarm clock checklist. Does your English practice make you excited, or is it boring?
And if it's boring, you need to embrace the frustration. Don't feel guilty, just admit, my current way of studying isn't working for me anymore.
Then explore. Reach out to our community. Ask other learners, what podcasts are you listening to? What books are you reading? Connect with the constellation of other English speakers.
And finally, emerge. Change your routine. Try a new method. Maybe stop focusing on grammar and start focusing on movies. Reinvent your relationship with the language.
Remember, everyone who speaks English fluently has had 100 setbacks. They have all felt stupid, they have all forgotten words, and they have all failed exams. The difference is that they didn't see the setback as a stop sign. They saw it as a green light to try something new.
Michael, this conversation has totally changed my day. I came in here feeling like a computer crash victim, but now I feel like I'm in the middle of a reinvention.
I'm so glad, Jennifer. Let's summarize the main points for our listeners. 1. Redefine the setback. It's not a failure, it's an inversion of progress that helps your brain grow through neuroplasticity. 2. Follow the 4 E's. Establish, identify, embrace, feel the discomfort, explore, connect with others, and emerge, act with a new strategy. 3. The alarm clock checklist. Use your energy levels to find invisible setbacks. 4. The constellation. Trust that your community sees your value even when you are dim. 5. Setbacks are green lights. They are signals that it is time to reinvent yourself.
Thank you so much, Michael, for helping me process my morning. And thank you to all our listeners for being part of our constellation. You are all bright stars, and we see your progress even on the days you don't.
That was a beautiful way to end, Jennifer. To our listeners, don't be afraid of the dopamine dip. It just means your brain is getting ready for a big upgrade.
We want to hear from you. Have you ever had a setback that turned into a success? Tell us your story in the YouTube comments. We love reading them.
If you found this episode helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the Rom English Podcast. It really helps us reach more learners like you.
Keep practicing, keep failing, and keep emerging. We'll see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone. Happy learning.
Bye-bye.